Okay, in this video, we're just going to cover the last two questions for the practice quarterfinal. This time it's a learning expected value. We'll see that in these next two problems. For this one, this is a random example. There are 8 prizes. So you can see here, I'm just going to highlight 8 prizes. That way I'm aware of what that is. And then to play, whoops, I meant to say to play, not to pay. To play, you must spend $5, and then you choose out of the 20 tickets some prizes. So 20 tickets is pretty important. Here are the cash prizes. $10, $9, or $8, depending on however many there is. The rest, you get nothing. Should you do it? So if you're looking at this problem, one thing to keep in mind with expected value is that you always create branches based on the prizes. The first one is the first branch. So if you look, it says 6 get $10 in cash. So I'm going to even label that as number 1. That's the first branch. And so from here, what do I have to do? Well, since it's $10 in cash, what I have to do is I have to take the difference. I'm going to take the $10, subtract it with the $5. What does that give us? I'm up $5, right? Even though I spent a little bit of money, hey, I get some back. And then I figure out the odds of doing that. So if you look here, 6 out of the how many tickets I get will give me that $5 cash. So that's 6 out of 20. We'll do it again for the second one. So if I look at the second one, 1 ticket, so that's going to be 1 out of 20. So 1 out of 20 gets us $9 in cash. Well, in this case, that's going to be $4 just because 9 minus 5 gets us $4. So I'm going to write that right here. This was from 10 minus 5. This was from 9 minus 5. And now I'm going to look at branch number 3. And branch number 3 does the exact same thing again. 1 out of 20. And the cash prize is $3. How is it $3? It's because 8 minus 5 gets us 3. And so when we do this, this leads us with our last and final thing, which is going to be how the rest gets nothing. So if you look here, there are 8 of the winning tickets. How many are not winning? To this, I'm going to just write the answer. It's 12 out of 20. Now, how did I get this 12? This 12 came from the total amount of tickets, which is 20. And I'm going to subtract it with 8. Because 20 minus 8, 8 was the winning, 20 was the total, I have to figure out the remainder. That gives us 12. Since it gives us nothing, we lost $5, right? All I have to do is just say 0 minus 5. So what do I have to do with these now? Well, all I have to do now is just multiply those two numbers. So I'm going to multiply 6 over 20 times 5. That would give us positive 3 over 2. This one will give us 1 over 5. This one would give us 3 over 20. And the next one gives us negative 3. So what am I going to do with all of these numbers? Well, now that I have all 4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them all up. So I'm going to add 3 out of 2 plus 1 over 5 plus 3 out of 20 and then minus 3. This gives us our total expected value, which is going to be negative 1.15. Is this fair? Or should I do it? Well, one thing to keep in mind is because our expected value is negative, we typically say no. And this is a sentence I like to always use. I say no, and I have to establish my reason. No, because we are expected to lose value over time. Now, this doesn't mean like I will exactly lose $1.15. It just means that I'll probably be in the negatives. And so that's why the answer is I shouldn't do it, because I'm always expected to go down in money. Okay, so then let's try it again with this next problem. So in this case, the game is a little bit different. Instead of picking something from the raffle, it says I roll 2 dice. And to give you context, I gave you guys something like this, or just kind of show you the different outcomes that I can get on a dice. It says I pay $1 to play, so I'm going to still highlight that. And then I'm going to read the rest. If I roll a 2, I get $8. Roll a 3, get 5. Roll a 5, get 2. The rest get nothing. Is this fair? So I'm going to do the same thing again. Anytime I highlight it, I make a branch. So since I say I roll a 2, oops, sorry, I'm going to do this in my pen. Roll a 2, I get $8. Well, this is going to be plus 7, and why? It's because I'm going to subtract 8 minus 1. And then this time I had to actually ask myself, how can I get a 2? Well, if I'm looking at the possibilities for a dice, I'm going to do this in a particular color. Here it's going to be yellow. So here I can see what I'm circling. That's how I can get 2, right? If one of the dice has 1, the other has 1 as well. 1 and 1 gets us 2. And so we can see 1 out of the total gets us 2. Now, if you look at the total, what is this? Well, this is basically 6 times 6, which gives us 36. I'm going to look at the next one. Roll a 3. Okay, so I'm going to make another branch. I win $5. That means I'm overall up by 4. Why? Because I do 5 minus 1. And in this case, because it says 3, I'm going to circle it in a different color. I'll do red this time. That's 2, 1, and 1, 2. So because of that, I'm going to write 2 out of the 36. Okay, let's keep on going. If I roll a 5, I get $2. Okay, that's another branch. Because it's rolling a 5, and it says gets $2, I'm still up $1. That's because that's 2 minus 1. And then if I look, how do I get a 5? I get a 5 by, and I'm just going to circle this in green. For 5, I get 4, 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. So because of that, I notice that's 4 out of 36. Now the last one says the rest, I get nothing. So I know it's going to be out of 36. And it says I get nothing, that's minus 1. Why is it minus 1? That's just because I have to do 0 minus 1. But here's the problem. How do I figure out the rest? Well, so far, the things that I've circled are 7 things. So I'm going to mention that. That so far, we had 7 outcomes. To find the remainder, what we need to do is exactly like what we did in number 3. We took the 20 minus the 8 to get 12. Same thing here. We have our total, 36. I'm going to subtract it minus 7, giving us 29. So I'm going to write right here, 29 out of 36. And so what am I going to do with these numbers now? Again, just like before, I'm going to multiply and then add them. This gives us 7 over 36. This would give us 2 over 9. Make sure you include the signs. This one would give us 1 over 9. And this one would give us negative 29 over 36. When I add all of these up, sometimes this takes a while, but when you get it, you'll eventually get your answer. So I'm going to put 7 out of 36 plus 2 out of 9 plus 1 over 9 minus 29 over 36. When I put math enter, I get the following answer. Negative 5 over 18. So is this game fair? We say no, and we're going to do the exact same sentence as number 3. No, because we're expected to lose value over time. This is usually my default sentence when I either say yes or no, because overall, you're not actually losing, 27 cents. In reality, you're actually losing a lot more money for the most time. But it says over time, we'll be kind of losing this so much. If we do it multiple times, we'll see what happens. But that's kind of how we cover number 3 and 4, setting up the probability trees for each outcome and making sure we know how to write those probabilities. When we have those, we multiply and then add. And that's basically it for the quarterfinal. I hope these videos help you out. Use it to the best of your studies, and I hope you guys do well.